national series, the brainchild of Andrew. He's very good at coming up with these things. You know, the 10 for 10s. I put a little spice on top and come up with the name National Treasures. But this is his brainchild. And behind the scenes, we're going to start talking. You know, Jesse and Mike Gio here from Sports Card Nonsense, they jump on and they say, hey, guys, we know you're important, but we have exactly 14 minutes to spend with you because we have to jump off and join Panini. They're way more important than you are. And
we
then
said you were important.
Fine.
We didn't say we weren't more important.
Which is fine. And Mike's like, no. You know, we love Panini, but these guys, we want to talk to them about the National. And the question came up of Andrew, Cage, who are the Mike Gio and the Sports Boy? Like which one of us is which one of us? And I don't know. I mean, how do you answer that, right? I know Mike he's got a crazy personality.
But you're both sports fans.
Yeah, but there's more to Sports Boy and Gio than just sports knowledge.
They've never met. Yeah, but that's true.
I mean, I don't watch the games. Famously, that is known by all of our audience. Andrew watches.
I mean, so far,
I don't.
Point in the Sports Boy column right there.
I also have an appreciation and an affinity for the non-sports segment. I can't wait for Stranger Things to come out.
Wow.
You know,
it's happening.
I could be the Sports Boy.
And if I'm not mistaken, I recall right before we started recording, you said you had dirt on Andrew saying negative things.
Negative things. I have.
Not that Mike would ever do that, but if he did.
I do. I have it all. I have the receipts.
Gio, explain to me something. So we've had a few people on.
Yep.
And there's the infamous 3-on-3 basketball match that kicked off National. What was interesting about the final cut of that footage was everyone was a winner. It felt like a participation trophy video, really, because everybody came out a winner, and I'm pretty sure they bageled the other team. 11-0, everybody. What's the truth? I want to hear it right from the horse's mouth. What's the truth? What really happened on that court?
And then after you tell us the truth, Jesse, you tell us the real truth.
Yeah,
Jesse wasn't there. He was.
I've heard enough.
No. We lost the three. We had our 3-on-3. A lot of money on the line. I did not bet on the game because I don't bet, but there was a lot of money. Our third man, Corey, who was our big guy, size-wise, not in talent, bailed. He couldn't make it, so we had to pick up a guy my size. So the Hoge brothers won the 3-on-3, 12-10. It was 11-2. We lost 12-10. Again, I will tell you this right now. I scored 9 out of 10 points. I am Carmelo. I'm worried about myself. I want my numbers to be good. I don't care if we win.
Corey, show your slabs.
Sidney Dean
bailed on us. Something to do with this stupid kid. Ridiculous family crap.
What a jerk.
Bush League. But then the other unknown fact, though, Hoge and Hoge were about dead after 2 games. That's why he didn't make it to the show the next day. He was so sick. Literally did not make it.
He didn't make it to the show on Thursday?
No. Well, I don't know if he came Friday either. He was horribly sick. He got like heat stroke. But Chris Hoge can play. Hoge can play. He's got a body on him. He's big, and he knows how to play. He was pretty good.
How long were the games? How long was the game, Mike?
This is why it's a joke. They played for 15 minutes. I played all 8 games. Every game that happened on the court, I played, including 2 game winners over John Wee, who was about 6'6".
He's a tall guy. Wow.
Not tall enough. But no, we had a good game. Hoge can play. Chris is a very good pickup ball player. And Tim Slabstrong can play. If his cardio was there, we would have taken it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I've heard no other story than that, so I can't corroborate.
Who in the hobby has good cardio? This is where we need to take this.
This guy runs full court twice a week.
You run the length of the court twice a week.
Yeah, just once.
And I go home and I run to my car.
He does one burpee.
Run right to Starbucks.
Oh, I'm burpee. I wouldn't get up. Oh no.
I want to hear your guys' take on National, your experience and all that stuff, but I've never heard the story. Jesse, this is the first time we're really meeting, so I want to hear it from your mouth. How do you and Gio know each other?
Oh, Lord. It's a family affair right now. Mike is my cousin's husband. Is that? Yeah.
Oh, he married into family.
Yeah, so he is a part of my family. I am born and raised in Middle Tennessee. He comes down, a Boston boy, tries to woo my cousin. She falls for it like a sucker, and here we are. And then they got married. You guys are having your 14-year anniversary, just like us, in a few weeks. We started hanging out, and at first I was like, I don't know. This Boston guy, he's a little... if you've never been around the Boston personality and you're a Southern boy like myself, it was a little much. But what I found out is he was a real alpha personality, and there's not a lot of alphas in my family other than myself, so we ended up getting along great, and that's how we got to know each other.
It's like it's a good combo. A little Sweet Tea and Sam Adams from Boston. You pour it together, and it's all good, man. It works out nicely.
Where are you from, Cage?
You know what I love? I'm from my mommy. No, so what I love is when you ask, how you meet, and he says, yeah, my cousin, my cousin, right? Is that right, Mike? You have to check with him.
I was not prepared for like a history discussion. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look up on. Oh, did you guys hear about the news with the players and the sports? And I'm just like, I gotta be prepared. I didn't think I was gonna get to talk, personally.
I'm glad you have a shirt.
I love the origin story.
Oh, bro, story guy. I put the shirt on at 12:59, and we started recording at 1. So
I walked into the studio yesterday. Jesse had a button-up shirt that didn't have a single button completed. He was just out there. The dude.
Are we or are we not in one of the hottest summers on record in Middle Tennessee? It is no need for additional clothing or buttons.
Well,
so
listen, the sun is dangerous unless you are Mike Gio at his own pool, and then the sun can't harm you.
Gosh, let me ask you guys, as sports aficionados, what happens to Luka's Tigers and Bronze if, say, Luka's, who he's a current player, correct me if I'm wrong, if something happens and he all of a sudden is no longer good? Like he just falls off.
He goes straight Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby.
Yeah, because that could happen to really
Andrew,
any
go
of the
for
players.
it. I love, by the way, when we have people on, you guys are the consummate hosts. You can ask us questions. This is
I'm sorry.
For a good episode.
I don't mean to take over.
No,
do you think Tiger's popularity increased or decreased after his scandal?
Well, see, that's the thing. I think Tiger.
Hang on, that was a good scandal. That was like he could took that as like a ladies' man scandal.
Okay, I don't know about that.
I
will cut that. Let's go ahead and cut that part, editors. The Tiger
content team.
The Tiger and Braun, I think they've kind of cemented. If they do well, or they don't do well, they're okay because their legacy's cemented. I think Luka is your odd man out. He's new enough to where he could end up just he just kind of falls off. He doesn't do much anymore, and then people are wondering in a few years, what's with Luka, Tiger, and Braun? Why isn't it Mobley, Tiger, and Braun? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, could be. Andrew, you got any ideas?
I got something.
Please.
So, people love people who make money for them, and Luka made a lot of people money in the hobby. I would actually argue that Luka has more of a staple in the hobby than the other two guys, because there are people buying his base prisms for pennies, and they were selling at $2,000, and they will always remember that.
I mean, it's a great answer. I would say I don't want to be happy. I don't want to cheer against somebody. But in the event of a worst case scenario, Luka is done, right? He hurts himself next year, you name it. And your thought, Jesse, is, well, we have these two GOATs, and then we have this flash in the pan who got injured, never did anything. I would argue what Andrew is saying here, what's great is Luka is the poster child for this current, time.
Okay.
And I think he always will be. This boom in the hobby, the come up for so many people. I think, Andrew, believe it or not, you hit the nail right on the head on this one.
I don't believe it. Even a blind squirrel gets a nut.
Yeah, I think and I think we also have a chance that he could be he could be great for a long time, and he's a current player that we're able to talk about during the show. So it's thought out.
Last national, was it national? Yeah, last national. I walked in. Your hands were kind of like this, and you were talking to HBO. That was last national 1 year ago today. I was. What's the year been like for Sports Card Nonsense for you? You've released Card Shop Live. Catch people up that are listening.
Yeah, it's been busy. I mean, I got my 30 seconds of fame there, which was nice. It's been busy. I mean, the podcast is getting busy. We've got some sponsors and stuff that we're dealing with and kind of keep us busy on a weekly basis. The Card Shop Live thing, the live selling thing's been a mess in a good way, but yeah, I don't know that. I'll be honest. I haven't talked to Jesse about this. Revelations on the show. If you told me 10 months ago, because that's about when it started, it would be this much work to be where we're. I don't know that I would take it on again. and I think it's going to be wildly successful. It's been a ton of work.
Would you agree that in our relationship, you are typically more of the big picture guy, and I'm more of the like plan out like how it's actually going to go through type of guy?
You're the coattails guy. Yes. I'm just kidding. Yes, I think that's true. You're the. I say it this way. I'm the big picture guy. You're the execution guy.
So my thing with Mike has always been trying to, if anything, like reel him in on some of these things, because he has something going on, and the app idea. He was throwing this idea out for a while, and I was saying no way. I didn't think it was a good idea at all, just because it was like, who knows where the card market's going to end up going. Yada, yada, yada. Obviously, it has worked out pretty well in our favor so far. But at the same time, it's like he has so many ideas of like, oh, this person reached out and that person reached out, which is great because it's like, well, there's plenty of opportunity. But at what point do you say, all right, opportunity is great. However, when can I just have like a little relax time, a little me time when there's so many good things going on? And that sounds like, oh, Mike's so great. Let's face facts. He's okay. But if at the end of the day, there's not enough time, like with family, with friends and stuff like that, is any of like the success worth it? I think in Mike's opinions, probably not. So there's just, I don't know about you. What do you guys think? You think it's worth it if you can't actually enjoy yourself?
Gage, you want me to take this one?
Oh, I do.
You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. So I think the next level of business entrepreneurship, if you look at the people that achieve huge things, the things that I think all four of us collectively want to achieve, we have to learn how to lead, how to inspire people around us to believe in our vision, to grow that vision. Cage came up with an amazing tagline for what we do. It's building a better hobby, right? And I love that because it gives you more purpose. It gives you more direction of why are we doing what we're doing, because the journey in and of itself is pretty lonely and it's difficult at times. And you're like, why am I even doing this? I could be working Wall Street and making more money and less hours and having more fun. So I'm with you. It's stuff Cage and I talk about quite often. I think our next level is leadership. It's growing a team under us. At least I think that.
You ever seen the movie Heat, Jesse? I mean, it's not a sports thing, but
that's
the one
Val Kilmer, right?
Pacino.
Yeah,
De Niro.
I'm familiar with it.
Danny Trejo.
So
TNT.
Machete. Good job, Gio. Right. So, but here's the thing, right? He says, he's ready to go in 60 seconds. Done. Anything, he basically lives like he's a terrorist. Nothing on the walls, you name it. He's in and out in 60 seconds. I am that with the hobby. The second it's not fun, it will take you 60 seconds to never look back. I'll be done with it. Well, because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. But
inspire a lot of loyalty and confidence.
Well, the bigger the card guy,
the onus on me to make it fun.
The more that opinion I have heard from the bigger the card guy, like Rob with Burbank Sports Cards, like he's got one of the largest amounts, like physical amounts of cards in the world. He said while we were in there talking to him, he's like, yeah, I don't really collect any. Like he has like these like some weird off the wall, weird name cards, but it's like when it is day and night. My uncle owns a barbecue place, best barbecue I've ever had. He's like, I can't touch it. Like I'm around it all the time. It's just not. It's not for me anymore. And I do wonder, as you get bigger in anything, sports cards or whatever, is it less fun? And so, I think Jesse, for me, it does get to that point.
I'll tell you, here's what you have to be able to train yourself not to do. The devil has a lot of great tricks. The best one is how we view comparisons, right? And comparison is one of the greatest tricks of the devil, because you never compare down, you always compare up. When you're looking at your PC, you never are going to say, wow, my PC is awesome. Because look, look at, well, I'm going to compare it to this guy who just started out, or compare it to this person's cards, or compare it to this. My PC is no. We always compare up. We always look at what somebody else has and are trying and working and killing ourselves to compare up. Same thing with apps. Same thing with business. Same thing with podcasts. Same thing with anything. Right? The hobby is a great microcosm of this. Card Shop Live is awesome. If you guys take a second to think about what you created instead of comparing it to Whatnot at every business development meeting, you'd probably be a lot happier about what you've done. But that is much easier said than done.
Can I read a quick quote? So yeah. I was reading this, this book on John Wooden.
The book.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It's I'm not what I ought to be, not what I want to be, not what I'm going to be, but I'm thankful that I'm better than I used to be.
Oh, well, that's nice. I like that. That's a good quote. Mr. Positivity over here, Cage. I don't know if I believe that.
This is such a good book. I might send this to one of our
that quote in a bag of chips gets me a bag of chips. I love it. It's great.
I would like to clarify, though, if it's come off in any way or shape or form that it's not still, at least for me, Mike is majority owner of the company, so a lot more onus falls on him. But for like me, and I think for the rest of our team, like we've set, like this week alone, we've set some pretty huge milestones, and we are still having like a fantastic time growing it, and it's awesome. But
could you share some?
I don't know what we want to share.
Say what you want. I don't care.
So
I love it. Permission
so we'll have
granted.
2 million in revenue as of this week. We'll have 10,000 users on the site. It's gotten to the point where it's becoming a lot more. Whether someone bought us out or not, it wouldn't really matter, because at this point we're getting to the point that income stream would be good in the next month or two, as far as like profitable, no more like, you know, just cutting our losses type of thing. So, and the fact that we just started 2 to 3 months ago,
3 months,
and we're already at this point, we couldn't be happier with how it's going. It's just the amount, like kind of what Mike had mentioned. It's more than what was expected in some instances.
It's fair.
But
right?
It's still great. Don't get us wrong. Don't think we're complaining.
I'm curious. I'm curious. If you need, so this is for Card Shop Live, guys, and I'll popcorn to you, Cage. I apologize.
Yeah, no.
What would you need the most help with? What is, the one big need that if it was filled, it would take you guys to the next level? I'm sure there's someone.
2 Jessies.
So the biggest thing right now is the balance of you add more sellers. Do we have enough active buyers? Well, we have way too many active buyers. People can't get stuff. We got to add sellers. Walking that fence has been difficult. The tech side has actually been pretty smooth. It's just time consuming. I mean, like we're finally launching like the entire shipping module, so everything will ship. And the shipping thing, by the way, is going to be, there are not many features that I look at our site and say it's better than any other live streaming service. We try to be comparable. We're a startup. Our shipping module, to me, will be the best. I've used every other one around. That's something I take a lot of pride in, even though I didn't have much to do with it besides the ideas. But yeah, I mean, exposure, right? Everything's about exposure. So, and then like you expose it early, like, hey, we start talking it up, all these eyes come in, but the app's not ready for traffic yet, or it's not intuitive enough, so you lose some of that. So a lot of it just timing. I honestly, if one thing I could get right, it would be, can we get our timing right? That has been the biggest ebb and flow, back and forth, whatever has been the timing.
I feel for you, Jesse, because you never know what kind of mixed message you're getting from this guy. I mean, he tells you it's all about exposure, and then you walk in with your shirt wide open, and he's complaining about it. I mean,
I expose more than most, and no one cares.
Here's a circle back, right? Because it's the National Treasures, and we got to see you guys at National. I got to tell you, while you're working your asses off on this Card Shop Live, you seem to be having fun when we saw you. Playing a little basketball, hanging out at a couple of events. People love you guys. You got a lot of fans, a lot of people, coming up to you, telling you how much they love the Card Shop Live, how much they love the show. I mean, if that's not fun, that's probably a problem. Talk to us about the National. Had to be a good time, right?
Oh, well, National was an awesome time, but like what you don't see, like Mike and I are both big family guys. Like what you don't see is our family, our wives aren't there. Like my kid's not there. We're not like doing things with them, and that's okay because the majority of the time we are. Like this is like Mike and I have made the point to not be at all the card shows in the year specifically so that we're not away from home all that much. But while we are at these things, I still find it incredibly fun, especially when random guys come up to me and they know me and I have no idea who they are. I think it's like incredibly like it blows my head up as far as like it couldn't be bigger because I have to buy special hats. But like if it could get bigger, it does, just because like it's so what's the word? Like
lids. You buy your special hats from lids.
No, it's just so to have someone come up and say something to you and you don't know them, like it makes you feel like you're this special person, and it's not, and I know I'm not. That's the thing. And so to be at moments like at these card shows where you get to experience something like that is incredibly fun, and to be able to hang out with guys like yourselves, guys that are in the hobby. I got to shake Lamine James' hand and take a picture with him. And
Lamine is the biggest star in the
I
hobby.
love him so much. But the only reason I did that is because he came up to me first, and I was like, "You know who I am. I know who you are." Like it was amazing. But yeah,
Gio brought his brother and his dad.
Oh, I know. He had a whole family there. He was having a great time.
I always bring my dad, brother, uncle. We've been doing that for probably 4 or 5 years. That's like our one guy's trip. Yep.
So I love this split here because Gio is a family guy, but he brings his family with him. Jesse is a family guy and doesn't want to leave his family, but when he does, he's in it for all the random men that blow up his head and make his head bigger. Interesting.
That's right.
Random men who blow up your head and make it bigger.
How efficient is your editing team?
Awesome. I mean,
I'm going to need their direct numbers.
You're looking at them. It's right there. Yeah. I mean, but listen, I'm with you on that. You said 14 years. In 2 weeks, I'll be married 18 years. And I don't go to a lot of shows. I don't go to a lot of, shows. We're picking it up a little bit more. And yeah, I miss my kid. People ask for my son, like, where's your son? He should be here opening stuff. But even Atlantic City, 3.5 hour ride for me, it's tough back and forth and the like, what am I going to do with them at night? Let them go play blackjack while I'm having dinner. I mean, like, what are you going to do with the kids, right?
So I have one last question for you guys. We'll let you guys go. So Sports Card Nonsense, make sure to subscribe to their podcast, their YouTube channel, Card Shop Live. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Make sure to download it, give it a shot, whether you're a seller or buyer. Reach out to the Sports Card Nonsense guys. They'll point you in the right direction. But here's the question. So at the collectible dinner, we had LT, not LaDainian Tomlinson, the real LT. We had Chris Mullen, Tim Hardaway. We had all these people. Gio first, then Jesse. Who at next year's National, if you could pick one athlete to be there, one celebrity, one person, who would you want to be there?
Oh, man. I'm terrible at this because oh, man.
Rajon Rondo.
I don't.
True championship to the Celtics.
How are you not saying Larry Bird right off the bat?
Larry or Tom. Yeah, so if we're going pipe dream, Larry Bird, Tom Brady. One and 1A.
So you pick 2 out of 1. You have to pick
I'll
one.
go Bird. Give me Larry. Give me Larry Joe.
Larry Legend.
Yep.
What's the hesitation? He's still alive. It's not like...
I hate everything about the National that is not the card show. I don't like being...
Why don't you say that? We're 22 minutes in. It's 2:30. You have to go.
I already texted and said we're going to be 5 minutes late for a meeting.
Why? Why do you
I have developed over the years like crazy social anxiety in crowds. I hate it. That even the cards and cocktails thing, that was a cool event. I was like, yep, I'm going to sit in the corner next to my dad. It is a combination of, I don't love being around that many people in person. You put a microphone in front of me, good to go. I'll hang with anybody, any subject. In person, I find it very overwhelming mentally. And in this hobby especially, I hate the clout chasing. Like when people introduce themselves to me as like, hey, I'm this guy with this card, or hey, this is my handle. I'm just like, bro, I don't care I don't want to speak to you at all anyways. And I don't like this thing that like, because
I'm already uncomfortable. And
I just don't. That's why I bring my father, uncle, and cousin, our father, uncle, brother. And now that Jesse comes, it's great because I have a crew of people who don't care who anybody else in the room are. I'm happy with that. I talked to Andrew for 10 minutes. There were no cameras on. We just talked, and he said some things he probably wouldn't say on camera, and vice versa, me to him. I'm good with conversations like that, honest stuff. I have no use to be in a group of people where it's like, hey, I just sold this $800,000 card, and dude, look at all these. I just think
told you that in confidence.
Well, wait. I want to make sure I understand. And I mean, listen, anxiety, the whole 9 yards, that's fine. But I just want to make sure I'm hearing, all right, you don't want the clout chasing, that's fine, but you're not just being a dick. If somebody comes up to you
at the show, I love it. Like when kids come up, people who come up one-on-one, right? Yeah, because it's not one-on-one with a camera going like, oh, look who came up to meet the guys.
Right.
And just like, hey,
I
dude,
just mean a random person tells you their IG name, right? And the only reason they're doing that is because they know who you are. You don't know who that. Like, I actually tell people who am I talking to? But otherwise, I'm not going to know.
That's different. I'm talking about the guys who come up like, hey, what's up, man? John on IG with the LeBron collection. I'm like, good for you. You probably still live at home. Like most people in this hobby are useless with money. I have really begun to despise the majority of these social events, but I love the show. Put me at a show, walk the floor, love it.
Because you're a Boston guy and like you're ready for like like I saw The Departed when they're in that bar, and then that's why you have your posse. And you get in a little scuffle with the Irishmen. Are you always like kind of on the lookout for that?
No, not anymore. Now I'm just like, if anything like that's gonna break out, I'm gone. I can't afford. I don't want a lawsuit. I actually have things now people could come after. 15 years ago, yeah, I was all about it. I was bartending, drinking, like super social, young and stupid. Now I'm just like, I would much rather be home with my dogs and wife. So honestly, I've become I'm the most boring, underwhelming person to meet. You experience this. Very little to say in person.
I don't think you were boring at all. I think you're hilarious.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
So. I mean, you got fans though, dude. I mean,
I'm all about that. The fans, I'm all about. But some of the events now, I'm not a big fan. Not for me.
Jesse,
I get it.
Who are you having there? So Larry Legend for Gio. A small event, private event, no more than 10. If there's more than 15 people, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah,
sure.
Small event with Larry Legend. So we got that. Jesse has a rager. Steve Aoki's DJing, 100 people. You're on stage. Who is your celebrity guest?
It's close to
home. You can't say Cage.
I mean,
yeah, it's Nick. I'm coming.
It's absolutely Terry Bradshaw. He's hilarious. I just watched Failure to Launch the other day, and he had his butt out in one scene. He is classic humor. Classic humor. I've talked. That sounds weird. Like I wanted to see. I didn't want to see it. It's just like when you see a butt, it's funny. Cage is over here really giving me a look, and I don't care for it.
I didn't think I would be able to.
It's not like that, bro. Can I just say something that was funny? Yeah. We all laughed about? Come on. Anyway.
Who's sitting next to Terry Bradshaw? Like, save it. Are you putting like Millie Bobby Brown, like, so that you could talk about Stranger Things? Like, you're supposed to be
I don't care for her.
Guy.
She's
you're
got an attitude.
To be the non-sports, like, the pop culture guy. You're bringing something from one of your shows. Like
I try. Here's the thing. Like, I am a people pleaser. You know what? In high school, I wasn't voted best personality because I had a great personality. I worked the crowd. I was friends with the goths and the skater kids and the preppy kids. I chose Terry Bradshaw because it was a perfect mix of entertainment and sports. I'm trying to help you. Help me help you. Okay?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I mentioned that he was pantsed at one scene, and that's a funny thing to me. I have a childlike humor.
I think we should bring pantsing back. I think it's the one thing that kept it.
I think in this day and age, it's the one thing this day and age is missing, is pantsing.
I think Jesse is what the show's been missing. I think Jesse needs to come back. I think he's found his vibe.
Absolutely not. We have to go. This has been a pleasure.
Animated as hell.
Hey, we'll get a call back in a year. It'll be good.
I'm gonna get a mystery box for you of like pop culture stuff. You'd open just random packs.
Send Mike something. I feel bad for him. I got something a couple times recently, and Mike didn't. So
love you, Luca Nation. That's another episode. National Treasures. Go subscribe. Sports Card Nonsense.
And check out Card Shop Live. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you all for listening to another episode of Lucas, Tigers, and Bronzo My. I wanted to tell you about a new service that we have starting as of today, and I'm really, really excited to bring it to you guys. So as a part of our partnership with SGC, we got 50 free submissions every single month, and many of you have taken advantage of that. And it's amazing that we could have the opportunity to 650 episodes, 675 episodes in, to go ahead and give back to our community. As people were sending those cards in, they asked, can we send 5, 10, 20 more cards to you guys? We'll pay for it, but we wanted them graded with SGC. You guys know SGC is turning cards around in 13 to 14 business days, have incredible customer service, and their secondary market values are going up day after day after day. And that's exciting for the hobby and exciting for the grading landscape. So we didn't want to just rush into it. We wanted to do it right. And what we did was I relocated here to Boca Raton, Florida. I opened up a P.O. box maybe 5 minutes away from SGC, and I will be hand delivering and hand picking up the cards. So you don't have to worry about anyone else touching your cards. It will be me, and I will update you every step of the way. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to personally pick up the cards from a P.O. box, prep them, new card saver, new penny sleeve, and deliver them to SGC every single Tuesday. Why Tuesday? Well, it lets the stragglers over the weekend come back through on Monday and gives me a day to prep, and it basically gives SGC the entire week to work on grading those cards. Once your cards pop, only then at the end of the process will you be paying for the service. It's $25 per card, simple as that, and the turnaround times have never been faster. We're hearing right now 13, 14, less than 20 business days. So there it is. 9170 Glades Road, number 135 is the P.O. Box in Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. 9170 Glades Road, number 135, Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. Of course, you could shoot me an email or shoot me a text anytime, and I'm always available. Many of you already have my email. It's iamandrewgoldberg@gmail.com, or my cell phone number, 215-519-9154. Reach out with any questions. I could walk you through the process. I've hopped on the call with quite a few of you, and I'm happy to do that. Love you, Luca Nation.